Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. This is the review of the Hublot Big Bang Ferrari. This particular model is one that you probably won't see. As you can see, it has this blue and red tint to it. And this is a limited edition exclusively for Los Angeles, available through Hublot's Los Angeles boutique in Beverly Hills or through Westtime, which runs that boutique with Hublot. This was a limited edition of just 50 pieces, but is very well indicative of the Hublot Big Bang Ferrari collection. This is a watch that I've always really enjoyed. I am a Hublot fan, and this is, for me, probably one of the best Hublots that has, really ever been made, and I'll tell you why. So if you have to know the history a little bit behind this collection to appreciate what it is that you're seeing. So I think it was about 2004, Hublot released the Big Bang, which is even still to this day probably the most popular model for the brand. And in 2011 or 12, I think it was 2012, they announced a partnership with Ferrari, that they would become the official watchmaker of Ferrari and Ferrari related events. And so this is the watch that was released to honor that relationship. Now, Ferrari is interesting because there have been a lot of watch brands in the past that have attempted a partnership with Ferrari to produce timepieces, and it's been kind of a commercial failure. So Hublot said, you know what? We want to work with Ferrari. Ferrari is a magical name, but we want to do this right. So what they did is, rather than take an existing watch and just stick a Ferrari name on it, they created a completely new type of Big Bang. And so this is the newest Big Bang case. It's a little bit larger. It's 45 versus 44 millimeters wide, with a lot more interesting technical details. And so there are features on this watch that you will only find in the Ferrari versions of the new Big Bang. So again, the case is 45 millimeters wide, and this version happens to be in an all black ceramic case. I think black ceramic is really cool because what Hublot was able to do is get different finishes on there. So it's mostly polished, but you have a brush section there, which is neat. On the side here, you can tell there's a piece of carbon fiber in there, which really sort of goes into Hublot's larger what they call fusion philosophy behind watchmaking, where you take a bunch of different materials, and there's rubber in there as well. And it's a cool case. I think it's really, really neat. This case is also available in like gold and I believe titanium, but I think it looks pretty kick-ass in ceramic. This version with the blue tint isn't as legible as some of the other ones because you have the blue loom on the hands there, but you can tell that it's still a very legible design, and it's very, very cool. So the Ferrari element shows up. There's no actual Ferrari name on the dial. You simply have the Ferrari, what I call the prancing horse logo, and it's actually an applied kind of figurine that they've put in there over at the 9 o'clock position. You have a chronograph, so you basically have a 30-minute chronograph with a counter here, and then you have the date, which is basically this disc that goes around, and there's a yellow section there that highlights what the date is at that specific time. Inside the watch is an Hublot-made Unico movement. So the Unico is a movement that Hublot developed for several years, and is the base in some other watches, and it's really cool. It's a very nicely made, but there's a piece of plastic sticker on there, but you can see that there's that cool wheel style rotor. It's a great looking movement because it's very highly skeletonized, but in a modern Hublot manner, and it looks cool. And it has, I believe about 3 days of power reserve in there. So you have, a lot of, this is a very Hublot watch, very in-house Hublot watch. But you also have some of that Ferrari character, some of that automotive design, such as the strap here. And you have Ferrari there on the side, which I think is cool, integrated to these unique chronograph pushers that look, I think they're supposed to look like pedals in the car. The crown is even different than most other watches. And rather than being a typical screw-down crown, Hublot wanted to design something that would last a little bit longer, be easier to operate. So it kind of locks down, right? So you open it, and it pops open there, and then when you see that little red piece, it's kind of unlocked. And then to relock it, you push it down, and then you turn it. You have to find the right little notch in there. There we go. And it locks down, and that red sticks right there. So you have a little area where the red locks in the crown for the water resistance. Another cool feature that Hublot debuted for the Big Bang, they had it for their dive watches where they really created it, but is this system here where you have a quick release for the strap. So you just hold this down and the strap comes right off. The watch actually comes with 2 straps. Actually, this is a good opportunity to show you the movement there because it's not on the strap anymore. It is a cool looking movement, and I think it's really, really neat. And I love the ceramic because it feels very nice against the skin. So the other strap that this comes with, this one with I believe has some Alcantara leather on there. And if the blue is a little bit too much for you, then you have this strap that also works as well. So there you go. See how it looks on that one? It's a little bit more of a subdued look rather than that bright blue. But I think if you're going to go with this one and you're going to get this blue and red theme, go on with the blue strap. It's pretty neat. So I don't know the specific price of this model because, again, this is a unique limited edition for Los Angeles. But a similar version with a ceramic case is about $30,000. That's roughly what I would imagine the retail price on this particular Hublot Big Bang Ferrari is. Anyways, you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch soon. Thanks.